Hello, this is RV Vagabond Jerry. And one thing that I've recently done in my RV travels is I have created a list of 105 places to RV camp with hookups, especially with electric hookups, that are actually free or cheap. And by cheap, I mean less than $20 a day. And right now, I'm one of my favorite listings. So first, I'm going to show you the list, explain it to you, and then go over some of the listings. And then after that, I'm going to show you a little bit around this RV park where I am now. So now, let's go into my computer. So here is my list, and it is on a PDF file. First, I want to go over the rules that would allow an RV park or campground to be included in the list. In order for a listing to be here, it has to satisfy all of these requirements, every single one. So starting off with number one, you don't need to be a member of anything to get these rates. These are the daily rates, such as Passport America or Good Salmon. There's a few more that gives you discounts at RV parks. I don't include any that require memberships to get these rates. Next is no minimum days of stay can be required for these rates. And the reason I have that there is because there are numerous RV parks around the country that if you take their monthly rate and divide by 30, you will very likely get a rate that is under $20 a day. But I don't include any of those. These rates you see here is if you go and stay just for one day, that's what your rate's going to be. It's not a discounted rate by staying there for a month. And to be on the list, they must all have electric hookups included in the daily rates. And nearly all of them have fresh water. There are some, a low percentage, but there are some that do not have a dump station. And trash cans and dumpsters, nearly all of them have it, but I've come by a few that didn't. And also, you don't need to be qualified for special discounts, such as being in the military, or being a senior, or being a resident of a state that some places give discounts to. So all of the rates that I have here are available to anyone without any discounts. And paid locations, the ones that are not free, these are the examples for the ones that are free. The paid locations must be less than $20 a day. And I put this note, $20 is not less than $20. The reason I put that there is because when I shared this list on Facebook, I asked for people to let me know if they knew any additional locations that would fit the criteria, and I had many people come back and say, this one or this one or this one, they only charge $20. Expected me to put it on my list. Well, 20 is not less than 20. So you'll see that all these rates I have listed, every one is under 20. Now, if I expanded it one more dollar to 20, then this list could be 5 or 10 times as long, because there are many places with that $20 per day fee. And I just don't want to go there because that would be such a huge, uncontrollable list. I want to keep it down to under 20. And then I've got these various notes. All COE campgrounds are under 20 with the national park passes. It's mainly the senior pass or disabled pass that gets you a discount, 50% discount. And the COE campgrounds, most of them, I think the large majority of them are about $30. So by getting the 50% discount, which you get with the National Park Pass. That drops to 30 down to 15, so they would qualify, but that kind of violates this first requirement here. So I'm just letting everybody know that the COEs with your National Park Pass is going to be under 20, but I'm not going to list them here. And New Mexico, state parks are $18, and you can get an annual pass to get it even a lower rate. I'm not including any other New Mexico state parks in my list because there are so many New Mexico state parks, it would greatly expand this list. And it's a little tricky. It's actually $14 a day, but then they add a $4 reservation fee, so that brings it up to 18. Now, some of the free locations do ask for voluntary donations. They'll have a box there that you can put some money in as a donation to pay for the electricity and for the upkeep of the park. And some free locations do allow additional days at a daily rate after the free days are over. I'll go over that when I go down the list with you. And if there's a question mark in the free days column, like there is here, that means that the number of free days they let you stay are unknown. I've been to several of them where there is no sign saying how long you can stay for free, and there's nobody there to ask. You can possibly go to the city hall, although some of these small towns don't even have a city hall. You may have to go to the county to really ask how many days can I stay. But I didn't do that. I really didn't stay more than 3 days at any of these places. I didn't want to stay more than 3 days. And these locations are all in small towns where you're probably not going to want to stay more than 3 days. So I didn't even bother to ask. And lastly, these locations can always raise the rates. And most of these rates are from 2021. As far as I know, they're still the same. Like any kind of business, they can raise their rates. And also, the ones that do have free days, they can just at any point change their policy and say no more free days. In fact, I've been to, I think, 3 locations where they were known to be free camping, and when I get there, there's a sign that's saying it's $25 a day. So they have just knocked out the free days. So I don't have any of those on the list, unless they've kept their rate below 20. But I remember one in particular where they went from free to $25. So that kind of ruined it for me and made them not qualify for the list. Now let's go down and look at some of these. Let me explain the columns to you. City, state, name of the park or campground. And the ones that have an asterisk before the name, that means I have personally visited there. I've camped there and confirmed the information. And of the 105 listings I'm going to show you, I have been to 70 of them. You'll see these asterisks. It's about 70 locations I've actually gone to myself and verified. Now I want to point out certain ones. Now this one where you see the question mark, that is the Winnebago factory at Forest City, Iowa. And they have an RV park right across the street from the factory. They also have a campground right next to the factory. And I don't think they have any limit as a number of days you can stay. It's mostly for people who are bringing their Winnebago products in to be worked on by the factory. And sometimes they can be there for a week or more just waiting in line to be worked on. But they don't have anybody monitoring their RV park or campground. So if you're just driving through the city there, you don't need any work done, you just want to stay for a night or so, nobody's going to have a problem with you doing that. Now, one thing I don't know for sure is whether they mind non-Winnebago RVs to park there for free. I know you can get away with it because I have been there several times myself, and I have never seen anybody monitoring their RV parking. So there's a lot of them in Iowa here. There's a couple in Idaho. Now going down to Kansas, this is the one that is the most generous. 10 days for free with hookups in the city park, and that's a really nice city park. Now Chanute, Kansas, this is a good example. The sign says you can stay there 2 days for free. If you want to stay more days, then you pay $10 a day, which is an excellent rate. You can see there's a lot of them in Kansas. Now these two in Missouri and this one in Montana, I've been to those places, and I got these question marks here because the sign says free camping, but it does not say how long you can stay. And there's nobody there to ask. So I know you can stay there for free, just don't know how long you're allowed to stay. Got a few locations in North Dakota. This one and this one I stayed at, but there is no sign there saying much of anything. And this one is a little different. It says that you're allowed to stay 7 days. It does not say free. It says $15 per day donation requested. And there's a box to put your money in, but there's no one there to ask about it. So if you want to donate $10 or $20 or $5, or if you're real cheap, nothing, I don't think anybody is going to come by and say, hey, you're going to have to pay. In fact, I didn't pay anything until I left. And then I gave them a donation. There's also a lot of them in Nebraska. And this one, 2 free days, $10 for a day after your 2 free days are up if you want to stay longer. This one had no sign at all. You wouldn't even know that it's a free camping place unless you did. No information there to help you. As well as this one in Eustis, Nebraska. No sign at all. And now we're getting into New Mexico. There's several of them, but none of these are the state parks. These are just city-operated campgrounds, and then a casino. This casino, I like it, this one, it's 1 mile from El Paso. Jow Lake Park, that's the one where I'm at right now. I'm going to show you some more video of it after I finish with the list here. Now this one here is way up in the mountains of New Mexico, and I'm going to go there in another year or so and check that out, because the information I was given is that you can stay up to 14 days, but I think it's so far away from any towns. Now we're getting into Oklahoma, where they're all casinos, except for one here, and they have free days at some of them. Here's one that is a city park for 15. And by the way, this was one that used to be free, and they took down the free sign and they said it's $15 a day. I didn't know that until I got there. Now, this Quapaw Casino at Miami, Oklahoma, is in the far northeast corner of the state. I really like that one. 3 free days, $10 a day if you want to stay longer, and I think you can stay up to 14 days in total there. This Downstream Casino, 1 free day. You can stay more days if you gamble. And the more you gamble, the more days they give you for free camping. Now we're getting into South Dakota, where there's several of them. And this one, I stayed at, but it has no signs at all. You wouldn't know it's a free RV park unless you just knew it, like by having this list. I got one in Tennessee, which is right out of Chattanooga. I stayed there once. And now we're going into Texas, where there is a bunch of them. This one is 2 free days and then $10 a day thereafter. Same thing here. And there's some really cheap ones. Now these that are just 1 free day, that may not even be worth going out of your way for. I went to this one in Levelland, which is right out of Lubbock, not too far from Lubbock. And it's 3 free days and then $25 a day if you want to stay longer. And this one in Memphis is kind of unique. The only thing the sign says is that you need to go to City Hall to register, which I did. You fill out a form and you tell them how many days you want to stay. I said 5, and they didn't have a problem with it. So rather than them telling you how long you can stay, you tell them how long you want to stay. And then they'll let you know if that's okay. Got a few more here in Texas. This one in Seagraves is a really small town. 3 free days and $5 a day to stay extra. But it doesn't say how long you can stay at $5 a day. That's the cheapest rate I've seen anywhere. And when I was there, I got the last spot. And the other people who were there, and I think there's like about 8 spaces or so. And some of those people looked like they had been there for months. So that's what happens when you have a cheap rate and no limit. People just hang around and live there. Here's another one that's 3 free days and then 10 thereafter. Now we're down to the bottom of the list. This one in Tomball, that is just northwest of Houston. It's basically just a suburb of Houston. They give you 7 free days, but this is different. With all of these other locations, you cannot make a reservation. They don't take reservations, the ones that are free, I mean. But this one, you have to have a reservation to get in. And it's not easy to make a reservation. You have to call them on the phone or do it on their website, which is difficult as well. It's kind of a rigmarole getting a reservation approval, but I've done it twice. So it's really worthwhile if you go through the process of getting a reservation. And there's 2 free ones in Wisconsin, 1 in West Virginia, and 1 in Wyoming. I got some more notes here about the listings with those asterisks. Those are the ones that I've been there and verified the information. And I'm allowing people to get this list without paying up front for anything. I'm just asking for a donation to support my doing this and continuing to maintain the list. If you go to my YouTube channel, and as you're watching a video, right in the middle of the screen, you'll see where it says thanks. You click on there, and then you tell it how much that you want to donate. 5, 10, 15, 20, whatever dollars. And they charge it to your credit card, and then YouTube credits my account. So I get paid by the month for my YouTube videos. If you know of any corrections, or if you have any qualified additions to the list according to the criteria, please email them to me. And this is the link to get a copy of this list. You don't want to type all this. I'm going to put this link in the description box below this video. And here's my YouTube channel direction right there. Now, if you're wondering why these places would let you park with hookups for free, they are all done by cities and for the purpose of just getting people to visit their city and spend some money at the businesses in town. They're all real small towns that are looking for some way to attract visitors and also for their local people. Most of these free places are at city parks, and they just provide the service of free camping for their local residents and visitors. It's only certain states and only certain cities that do this. And the ones that are not quite generous enough to let you stay for free, these are the ones that charge the really cheap rates. And I like them not because I can't afford regular rates that RV parks charge. I just don't like to pay a lot to rent an RV space when the large majority of the time all I need is the electric hookup. The water fill and the dump, I only need to do that about once every 2 weeks anyway. So I don't like to pay for services that I'm not getting. Well, folks, I hope this list will help you in your RV travels. Please let me know in the comments below the video. And if you do get a copy of the list and get some use out of it in your travel and it saves you a lot of money, then I would really appreciate the donation. So please let me know if this video has helped you. Now I'm going to go outside and show you what this particular location in Jal, New Mexico looks like. What's really nice about this place, which is in the town of Jal, New Mexico, is that it's at a city park. And not only do I have 50 amp electric hookup and a water faucet right there and a very nice picnic table under a cover with not only a barbecue grill but also a light, so I can come out here after dark and enjoy the cool evening. They keep this park very nicely groomed, and it has a fairly good sized lake here, be it a man-made lake. They have a lot of really nice park facilities, even including an exercise equipment. And there's a bridge going out to an island. And the RV park is just right here, right beside the lake. And there are 6 RV spaces, all the same. It's really nice to take an early morning or a late evening walk around the lake. Huge lawn here, and for free, you really just can't ask anymore. Well, folks, let me know in the comments below if you have enjoyed this video and will get some good use out of it. Good day, folks.